After the Tetons, we headed to Yellowstone, and on our arrival day, we did the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. We let our artist do some work here at Artist Point, and then headed around the other side to hike down to the river. And at the bottom of all those switchbacks, we have the brink of the lower falls. Where are we, Thomas?
Yellowstone.
We are Yellowstone. We're at the brink of the lower falls. Looks like you're not going home with as much as you came with. What happened?
Well, I was leaning over like this, and my sunglasses fell off.
So we understood that we weren't going to have electricity in Yellowstone or Tetons, which is fine. We're doing fine without it. But I hadn't counted on it being bear country, which means everything kitchen related, not just food. Anything that touches food, any water, lotions, anything scented has to be packed in a hard-sided vehicle or a bear box. And we don't have a hard-sided camper. So that means every time we're done with the meal, want to go to bed or want to travel somewhere, we have to pack our kitchen away. And in Yellowstone, they don't even have bear boxes. So we got to get the whole thing in the back of the car after every meal. My hope is that after doing this for 5 days, any other kind of camping feels logistically easy. All right, it is geyser day. We busted it out this morning, got up at 7. We're in the car by 7:30, gonna try to get to Old Faithful before the rest of the crowds and then do all of the cool geothermal stuff that there is to see here. How did you guys sleep last night?
Actually, pretty well.
I woke up in the middle of the night.
It was so cold.
I think someone fell on me.
That would have been Thomas. We lost about 10 minutes to construction, which means we got to Old Faithful 5 minutes after it had gone off. So we've spent some time in the educational center and the store, but the kids really wanted a front row seat, so they have been sitting out here between 45 minutes to a half hour. Probably another, 10, 15 to go?
Yeah.
We're in projected range now.
Spinning. That's Old Faithful eruption.
It's starting.
Fly away, this thing. Fly away, this thing will go.
Well, after Old Faithful, we tried to go see Daisy, and we missed it by 5 minutes as well. So the rest of the crew went back to look at that. Where are we, Joey?
Boardwalk.
We are on a boardwalk.
We just saw Giant Geyser.
Yep, there's Giant Geyser, which hasn't erupted in a couple of years. What is a geyser, Joey? The world
Something
made.
that's caused by cooling magma that heats rock around it, that traps, that makes a water system, and then that water system is trapped, being pressure, which makes an explosion of steam. That's how geysers work.
And our final destination on Geyser Day, fountain paint pots. Anybody want to sum up their feeling about our adventure so far?
We got to see a lot of geysers, which was very cool, and we got to see a pretty good part of Yellowstone, and I'm looking forward to a quieter day tomorrow.
And the down day mostly involved the kids playing a game they made up with the plastic animals that were brought along with the ones purchased at the gift store, while parents worked on laundry and cleanup and getting caught up on other things.
Okay. I think the dinosaur's a level 4 or 5. I think it's level 5.
The emperor penguin gets a staff
It
that
is
he
5
can
attack.
hurl at any time he wants to kill the dinosaur.
No.
Why can't I have at least something?
Later that day, Gloria led a hike to the overlook for the Grand Prismatic Spring. The older kids wanted to go along and did. Joey, however, was more interested in working on a house for his raccoon, so he kept working on that, and we were treated to a thunderstorm while they were gone, which they missed. They were disappointed, however. That night, while we were playing our family board game, we were treated to an encore. And in the middle of our opening round of Andor, the family fantasy game, hail is striking in Yellowstone. The roof is being pelted. We can't hear anything. My mom is trying to finish the dishes. Fortunately, thunderstorms give you a fair bit of warning, but this is everything that got piled and thrown into the car before the rain came. Camper cleanup took longer, having rained the night before, but we made it to Bozeman, found a Target, and purchased non-stick pans and other items we discovered we needed. Our Bozeman friends even took us to the Maine Music Festival, and they got to see the skyline at dusk from atop the armory. Hey Joey, what do you think about Montana? 5 stars. Forecast looked good for a float down the Madison River with our friends in Bozeman. So on day 10, we got the tubes and 2 cars together and put in for a 2-hour float. Unfortunately, the forecast was not as described, and we ended up caught in a thunderstorm as we went down the Madison River. In between breaks, we took a couple photos. It was pretty cool to see pelicans, but there were some mild cases of hypothermia by the end of it. Everyone came out all right.
We took a float trip in the floaties, and it was going to be a 2-hour, 90-degree float trip on this nice slow river. Then, it turned out to be, it wasn't 90 degrees. A little bit after we launched, it started sprinkling, and then it started pouring, and then it opened up again, and then it started pouring again, and then it started hailing, and the hail would bounce up off the water as far as you could see. There would just be a bunch of hail bouncing, and you couldn't look down to the water because the hail was hitting the water, bouncing up, and then stopping.
And all the kids started out in their own tubes?
Mm-hmm.
And where did most of them end up by the end?
In one of my parents' tubes to keep warm.